which is Kiki. Hi to everybody. Hi to my royal family. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, I'm just doing this video as um, an update and also just to have it documented this time and this part in this time of my life. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got home. It is 8 o'clock at night. I have a slight headache. And I just made me something to eat. You can't see it. The lighting is not right. It's um it's a roast beef wrap. I stopped my large portion of bread, so I just eat like wraps. I stopped that about, I want to say, 2 years ago. So I don't really buy bread. My son eats wheat bread, but I usually stick to the wraps. That's my only form of bread that I get. So I have a roast beef wrap with Swiss cheese, Caesar salad dressing on it, and lettuce and mustard. It tastes really good. So I know it don't sound too great, but it really tastes really good. I'm sorry, I'm taking something for my head. So um, I went to visit. Excuse me. He's my cousin, but I always call him uncle. I have two uncles that I call uncle that are cousins, but I call them uncle because my grandfather had a large part of raising them. So I don't call them cousins. I call them uncles because they are that close to my family. And but they were actually my grandfather's nephews, but they are actually my cousins. But because they had an uncle role to me, I called them uncle. Um, so I wanted to go visit my cousin uncle, whatever, cousin slash uncle. Visit him today, and I went. You guys, I have not went. Okay, first, I'm all over the place. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me, please. Let me eat something real quick. I have plain potato chips on the side for my side. Um, I don't have any more fruit. I need to go grocery shopping. I went to my family lives around about 45 minutes away from me. That's without traffic. With traffic, it would be about an hour. And today, traffic was very heavy. It was very thick going that way. So it took me like an hour to get there today because of so much traffic. Um, and so I haven't been to where I'm from in that area. I haven't been there. Still Virginia. I just haven't been to that part of Virginia where my family is since February. And you guys know I vlogged when I was there in February. I think I vlogged because I vlogged about the purse that my great aunt gave me. And how it was my mom gave me stuff for my birthday and all that when I went, and that was towards the end of February, I believe, when I was there last. I've not been there to see my family. I have not been to my grandmother's house. I have not been there to see my family since February because then March came and the pandemic really blew up for the US, so everybody was staying home. It was a shutdown and everybody was home. And so I was home and I was not going to go to visit my family at all. But with the death of my cousin slash aunt, because she's married to the guy that's that's my cousin slash, I call him uncle, due to her passing yesterday, I had to go be with my family, y'all. I had to pray about it, and I didn't go yesterday. I wanted to go yesterday so super bad, y'all. I wanted to go so bad. And something just said, just wait, just wait. When I woke up this morning, I felt God pushing me and saying, go. I didn't want to go and it be like a house full of people and all that stuff. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do that. I can't be. My doctor has not released me to be around a large group of people yet, and so I I didn't want to be around a large group of people. So this morning, God must, he was just pushing me. He must have knew nobody was going to be there, because when I got there today, y'all, it was nobody there. I was well, not nobody there. It was my uncle. We call him Bucky. He's actually an elder, though. He's an administrative elder of my grandfather's church, and I call him. We all call him Bucky, and so when I pulled up, Uncle Bucky was outside talking to another known preacher in the area. I actually have preached at their church before. And so I actually saw, got to speak to him, and he was leaving and I was coming in. And so my uncle was like, come on in, come on in. And so I went in. This is the first time I've been to their house, because they always come to where we are. Like, we never, y'all, it's kind of hard. It's like we have central places in where my family is that we all spend time together. So I get there and I get in, and it was only me, his brother, which is also cousin uncle, his sisters were there, which both of them are my cousins, and they were there, and it was just them. It was nobody else, and the other person was me. And it was perfect. I stayed for like 30 minutes and then I left, because, they were trying to get some things straight with the funeral and stuff. And I felt like I was in the way, but I knew I wasn't in the way because I'm family. But I also know how that feel, because when my granddad passed, we were dealing with all of that. So that it's a lot. My cousin slash uncle, pray for him. I asked him how he was holding up. He said he's holding up okay. But the male part of my family, they all try to act tough, but really they're hurting. So I know it hurt, and I told him I understand it's probably rough right now, and I get it. Like, I'm not even trying myself to act like I'm all okay, because my brother even called and checked on me today. He never calls to check on me. Okay, so that shows you how broken up I was, and for my brother to call and check on me, y'all, my brother don't call and check on me, my real brother. So yeah, I'm so glad that I went and spent a little bit of time with him. And when I first got there, and I held the door for him, but he's only 60 something. They're not old. His wife was 55. She was 55, y'all. 55 years old. She was young. Anyway, so when I walk in with him, the first thing he says is, "You were Nita's girl." I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, y'all. I'm not gonna cry. I did all my crying this morning. And I said, I know. Mind you, I had on 3 masks and I had on gloves. And I said, I know. But she was my girl too, y'all. She was my girl too. Um, she's the one singer that I looked up to the most growing up in my church, in my granddad's church, because her style was so super different and I loved it. And then for some reason, God allowed my style of music that I sing to be different than her music. So we loved each that part about each other, you know, and she always pushed me. She always encouraged me. She always was supportive of whatever I did in church. She was so super supportive. And when I had my son, she loved my son just like she loved me. I'm glad I'm able to talk about it now, because yesterday I was out of it, y'all. I was just yesterday was the longest day in history. It felt like that day would never end. I cried so much yesterday. And then today I wake up this morning and I'm like, I'm hoping this was a dream. I'm hoping that this all was a dream. And it hit me. Nope, God called her home. And then I broke down again because I hear a lot of the songs that she used to sing at my church, and then somebody posted a picture of her CD. She had her own CD. I don't know if I told you guys. I'm telling you, like, she was like the legendary gospel singer artist at my granddad's church. And she's gonna be missed so much. We had everything. We had every special event we had for my granddad. She will always be the soloist. Everything we have for my grandma, she's always the soloist. Everything, she was always the soloist at every special event we had, even non-special events we had. I know for my granddad's funeral, we had her sing. That was the number one person. We was like, when we were putting the program together, we was like, definitely Nita. Nita is singing. Nobody, if nobody else sing, Nita is singing. And she ministered when she didn't just sing, y'all. Hold on, let me explain. She didn't just sing, but she ministered. She ministered. It wasn't just about singing to her. It was about ministering. I'm so glad I'm able to talk and document this now, right now. Her husband said that she wasn't sick. He said he would always get colds and stuff, but she would never get colds and stuff. He said she never got sick. Everybody is so shocked. She's well known in this entire area where I live. Everybody knows her, man. It's like she have sung at so many weddings and sung at so many funerals and sung at so many events in this area. It's insane how many people know her from her ministry, from her singing, and how a good person she was, and how she touched so many lives. That's what I want. I don't want to leave this earth and I haven't touched lives. I haven't made a difference in people's lives. I want to be able to make a difference to people's lives. She made a difference to people's lives. She sang until the power of God will fall down and people will want to change. That's what it's about. Ministry is not about being popular or being famous or being I don't know how to say it, but it's about being able to touch somebody's life. And I know she's touched mine many times. Many times. The last time I heard her sing was at my grandmother's service last year. We had her sing at my grandmother's service last year, and I'm sitting in the audience, and I record it? I don't even know if I recorded it on my phone. And all I kept saying was, "Sing, Nita, sing." I always supported her when she was singing, and then when I would sing, she would always support me. I would hear her in the audience saying, "Sing, Kita, sing." I told y'all already, the two people in my life that called me Kiki were my grandmother and Nita, because my nickname that my family calls me is Kita, but my grandmother and Nita were the only two that called me Kiki. Even though I don't go to my granddad's church anymore, it is going to feel strange when I do go and she's not there. Everybody is trying to figure out like what happened, and we don't know. It was just her time. It was just time for God called her home. And it hurts, but we know that God knows what he is doing. God knows his plan. He knows what he is doing. We may not understand it sometimes, and it may hurt us, but God is in control, and he knows what he is doing. That's why he helps us with grieving. He helps us by holding us and counseling us and being with us and healing us through the grieving process. We're going to be okay. I know we are. I do have to ask you guys, my YouTube family, please, please pray for my Uncle Bucky, because it may not hit him right now, but it's it's going to be hard for him. Y'all, they've been married since she was 18. And I didn't even tell y'all how they got together. She prayed for him. He was dating other women in the church. She prayed for him to be her husband. And he was. And they've been married ever since they've been married for years. So I need you to pray for him, because he was the love of her life. And she was the love of his life. So I need y'all to pray for him, that God upholds him, that God keeps his arms wrapped around Uncle Bucky. Because I know this has to be hard. She never even had any kids, y'all. They didn't have any kids. My uncle Bucky is in his 60s. But we all, but she was younger than him. YouTube, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me through this. This I'm glad I'm able to document it. I'm glad I'm able to record it. because I didn't get to record a lot of when my granddad passed, and that hurt. I couldn't even, there was no way I could have picked up anybody's camera and recorded anything, because my heart was broken. Even though I had already grieved during the year before he passed, because he was in the, they put him, my family put him in a nursing home. But it still hurt when he left. I have to talk it out, you know. I stopped and checked on my mom. I just ran in for 10 to 15 minutes and ran back out. Checked on her and my grandma. They're doing well. My mom and my grandma are doing well. My grandma doesn't know. My mom has not told my grandma. I did not go in my grandmother's room. I stood at her door and waved at her, and then I took their can of Lysol and went and sprayed back where I was. And my mom, she's doing okay. My aunt came while I was leaving, the one that was really taking it hard, because she's her musician. My aunt was her musician all these years. And so my aunt seemed to be okay. She said she was going to go over to see Uncle Bucky later, because they live directly like in the next neighborhood across the street from my grandma. Yeah, they didn't have any kids, so my uncle, he's like, he don't want to stay in that big house. They have a huge house by himself, so his brother, Uncle Tommy, is going to stay with him for a little bit, I hope. Or he's staying with him for right now, but I'm hoping that he stays there with him, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him. So if you can say a word of prayer for him, keep him in your prayers, y'all. Please keep him in your prayers. He's about to retire next week. Been at his job for 40 years. So they had to have been married. I meant to ask him how long they've been married. They had to have been married at least 30 years, I'm thinking. 28, 29, at least. Because all I remember is them being married when she used to keep me. Well, when she first started keeping me, they were dating, and then they got married, and then I remember her still keeping me when they were married. So yeah. They've been married a long time, y'all. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And be the best you that you can be. Bye.